It's all yours, and I'm on mute.
Okay, Damon.
Yes, sir.
Now you see I choose My Economy, right? The website.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure everyone can see. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I want to say welcome to My Econ and this training series tonight here in the Eagle's Nest. I'm honored to be here. I have met Damon and Ashley and spent some time with them in this last year, and these are just wonderful people. And I know that Damon is recording this, but he does some things that I just am amazed with, all of the various things that he do in his spiritual life as well as in his business life, trying to help people to get that going. And it is my belief that you must have a spiritual life and a physical life. They must work hand in hand. And I believe that Damon and Ashley is doing that in their lives. And so I want to thank you all for being a part of the team and being on here tonight. Tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what I call the number one step in My Econ that makes us different from other companies, and that is in America today, 80% of Americans get this wrong. They get a tax refund. And right now, as we're sitting here tonight, January the 6th, it's people all across this country waiting in anticipation. They have already went down and filed their taxes, even though they can't be submitted. They went down and filed their taxes, and they get refund anticipation loan up to $6,000 because they just need the money so bad. They spent everything they had during the Christmas holiday, so now they're going to borrow money on their refund. Now think about this, two bad things happening here. Number one, when you allow the government to give you a refund, this is statistic, these are true data. You actually overpaid your taxes. You didn't do yourself no favor. I want you to use this as an example. I go in a restaurant, me and you, as an example, whoever you are that want to put yourself in that position. We buy lunch. Lunch costs us $40. I am a person that carries cash with me often. So I give the cashier a $100 bill. Am I expecting the cashier to hold my $100, take the $40 out and pay the bill, and put the 60 somewhere and say, Mr. Curry, I will give you this 60 back 15 months from now? That's what happens when you pay or overpay your taxes. When you overpay your taxes, what you're doing is you actually allowing the government to overpay or to hold your money for 15 months. It's 12 months in a year plus an additional 2 to 3 months in March. You have let them hold your money overpayment. See, when you give that waitress or that cashier a $100 bill, you expect them to give you back $60. Now, if you want to give them a tip, you do. But if you don't, you expect $60 back immediately. Well, here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about how you get the $60 back immediately and how you even lower the 40 that you're paying for the taxes. See, there is no law in America that requires you to pay taxes. There is a law, however, that requires you to file taxes. So in these next 3 days, if you join me on all 3 days, you're going to learn how to get your money back right now within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And then in addition to that, you're going to learn how to lower your taxes to the legal minimum, which means in many cases, some of you may not pay any taxes on the federal side. And then we're going to teach you how you can make major money here with the My Econ company just by being a part of our corporation. So tonight, I want you to take really good notes. And I'm just here on the My Econ website now, but what I do is I like to do everything live. I don't want to pre-do anything so you don't know what I'm doing. I want to show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to open a second window. And I'm going to type in irs.gov, irs.gov. Enter. Now, many of you, if you're like I was, you've never gone to the IRS website. You have been told and been put in fear that you can't do your own taxes, that the big bad government is going to get you if you don't pay your taxes. Excuse me. We have been told all kinds of things about this. And before I got in business, I had never gone to the IRS website. What I had done, as with many of you, is every time I got my taxes, I found someone to fill them out immediately, because I assumed, and I was right, that I would be getting a refund and I needed my money. I didn't know I could have had it all year. So now I'm on the irs.gov. You can see it right here, website. I am going to scroll down and I want to show you what we're going to do tonight. Okay, see right here, it says do a paycheck checkup now. Use the new withholding estimator to check your withholdings. Now, when you took the job that you have a regular job that take taxes out of your check, federal income tax out of your check, in your HR department, you have a W-4, even if you don't know what it looks like, and even if you don't remember filling it out. Some of you filled these out so long ago, you forgot that you filled it out. Let's look at this right here. It says, before you begin, gather your most recent pay stub for yourself, and if you are married, for your spouse. Gather information for other sources of income. Have your most recent income tax returns handy. We want to use whole dollar amounts, no cents, in the calculator. Now, before I go into this calculator here, I'm going to answer one of these questions. Why should you use the estimator? Okay, right here it says the IRS encourages everyone to use the tax withholding estimator to perform a paycheck checkup. This will help you make sure you have the right amount of taxes withheld from your paycheck. There are several reasons to check your withholding. The first one, checking your withholdings can help protect against having too little withheld and facing an unexpected tax bill or penalty at tax time. If at the end of the year you owe taxes, you had too little come out, that means your W-4 was incorrect. Now, if you're a business and you have owed taxes, you didn't have a W-4. You may have to pay something called estimated taxes. We won't get into that tonight because we're talking strictly to the ones who have jobs, 80% of Americans. At the same time, you may prefer to have less withheld up front, so you receive more in your paycheck and get a smaller tax refund at tax time. So this is why you want to use the estimator. Now, when you're doing this, you can choose to go down and read all of these questions. I won't in the interest of time tonight, but I want you to see why we're using this estimator. So it says use the tax withholding estimator. I'm going to click here. Anything you don't agree with here, ladies and gentlemen, you are not disagreeing with Alvin Curry. You are disagreeing with the IRS. This is the IRS website. And I am so glad that Damon is recording this, because if anybody say Alvin said, I'm gonna make sure you got a good shot of this in the recording. Up here it says IRS. It does not say Alvin Curry. Tax withholding estimator, okay? Now, here's where we're gonna go. We're gonna go down here to About Us. Now it says right here, what filing status will you use for your tax return? Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to write this down, I'm going to use married filing jointly. That means the husband and wife are going to file taxes together. I'm going to do 2 children. They're both under the age of 17. I would say that they're 8 and 13. We have no daycare because they're over 8 and 13. And I'm going to use, each person have 1 job each. And I'm going to say that they get paid 2 times per month, the 1st and the 15th. Now they get no bonuses. These are just some things that I'm going to use because I don't have a pay stub to have. However, if you're sitting with yourself or someone else, as Damon has designated this young lady to be one of the trainers, that person needs a pay stub. And on the pay stub, you will know how often they get paid. It'll tell you. You will know how much taxes they take out and all that stuff. It'll be right there. So tonight we're going to go married, filing jointly. Now understand, a single person is someone who does not have children. That person might be 18 to whatever age, because there are many single people who have never had children. Some people have had children, as in the case of myself, and all of my children are grown. So if I were a single person, I'm married, and all of my children was grown on their own, I would still be considered single. Married filing jointly just simply means the husband and wife file their taxes together. There are many couples, however, file their taxes separately. So that would be married filing separately. And then head of household would be someone who has a child living with them. You're a single person having a child live with you. And in very few cases, it could be someone like an elderly parent that you're taking care of. A qualified widower means someone whose spouse died in the previous tax-paying year, which is 2019, before you file the taxes. So you're going to file the taxes. Your spouse did it on 2019 when you filed this year. Your spouse didn't make it, and now you'd be a qualified widower. All right, those are the filing statuses. Can someone else claim you as a dependent? Now, to the young lady that's going to be doing this, anytime you don't know the answer to what this means, you can click on the little button here that says question mark, and it'll give you tips to help you answer. Can someone else claim you as a dependent? No, since this is a married couple filing jointly. All right, they were going a little fast on me here. I don't know why it runs so fast on the brother. All right. Number of dependents. Do you plan to claim dependents on your tax return? Yes. We plan to claim dependents on this tax return. How many dependents do you anticipate claiming? We anticipate claiming 2. Okay, do you or will you or your spouse hold a job this year with a paycheck from which federal income tax is regularly withheld? The answer to that question is yes in both cases. It needs to be at least 1 though. If you're self-employed, they do not withhold taxes. All right. How many jobs do you expect to hold? They're talking to the person who's here. It could be the husband or wife. Doesn't matter which one's first. So we're going to say they have 1 job. If you have more than 1, you need to put how many jobs you have. But now when we get to the spouse has 1 job. See, it's not, you can't put 2 if you both have 1. You have to put 1 on the first one and 1 on the second. But if you had a part-time job, you would put, I have 2, okay? Now, will you or your spouse receive income from a pension? Let's say you got a pension plan, you retired from the military or something, or whatever, a job. The answer to that would be yes. In our example, the answer is no. Now, here's where this becomes very important that you read this. It says, check all that apply to you and your spouse. Other sources of income. I don't have any of these. I'm not going to read them all, But when you go through, you need to read, do you have Social Security benefits, scholarship, unemployment, earned income from self-employment? We're going to deal with that in just a minute. Okay, receive 401k. Our answer to all these are no. We're not 65 and we're not blind. So we're going to go to next. We'll finish step 1. We're now on step 2, income and withholding. Now we started with your job. Whoever yours is, with the first person you use, husband or wife, do you expect to hold this job the entire year, January 1st to December 31st? The answer is yes. How frequently are you paid? You should know that. Every 2 weeks means you get paid 26 times a year. Twice a month means you get paid 24 times a year. Twice a month, 1st and 15th, times 12 is 24. Every 2 weeks, you pick up an extra 2 pay periods in a year, and that is 26 pay periods a year. Once a week is 52. Once a month, obviously, is 12. We get paid twice a month. On what date did your most recent pay period end? The most recent pay period ended on January 1st. Now, listen to me carefully. Because we just entered a new year, you cannot do this until you get your first pay stub of the year. You can't do this on last year's pay stub. If you've not gotten your first pay stub of the year, you have to wait until you do to go and do this. Okay, enter the total wages you expect to receive this year. How much wages are you earning? We're going to say this person earning $40,000. Okay, enter any bonuses. Have you already received a bonus this year? No. Do you expect to receive a bonus this year? No. Using your last pay stub, pay statement, enter the total federal income taxes withheld. Year to date, how much taxes have been withheld? We'll use the 40,000 a year earner. We're going to say $200. That's all that's been. They have one pay statement. For the first pay statement of the year, the last check was $200. Now think about this. This is the only time that these two numbers should be the same. The first paycheck of the year. Because when you get a second paycheck, if they take a $200 out each paycheck, this number year to date would be $400. As you go further and further down the road, you're adding 200 to it every month, it's going to get larger and larger. But the last paycheck, it may always be 200 if that's what they're doing. Did you or will you contribute to a tax-deferred retirement plan such as 401k? For the purpose of this class, I'm going to say no. However, if a person does, that would be on their pay stub. How much go to the 401k? Because if you do, you're going to need to know the amount. Do you or will you contribute to an HSA, health savings, a pre-tax? Some people pay this for daycare and for different things like glasses and stuff. They call them cafeteria plans. We're going to say no in this example, but however, in your real example, you need to know, but that will be on your pay stub. So if I was sitting with you, if I look at your pay stub, I can tell you if they took that out or not. We're going to start with your spouse. See that plus sign? Bam, turn to the negative now. Do your spouse expect to hold this job all year? Yes. Select options here. How frequently is your spouse paid? We're going to go with twice a month here just for simplicity purpose. On what date did your spouse's most recent pay period end? That ended on January 1st also. And the total wages your spouse expects to receive this year, $60,000. Again, remember, if you do not know what they're asking you, click on the little question mark and it'll help you answer. Spouse, enter bonuses. Spouse has already received a bonus. Spouse expects the bonus. No. So we don't have a bonus on either one. Using your last pay stub for the spouse and the total federal income tax withheld, we're going to use $325. The last check, how much was in it? $325. Remember, year to date and the first pay stub is going to always be the same. But the second check and beyond, year to date will be more. The spouse did not contribute to a 401k or cafeteria plan. Now, I skipped these, but if you have that, you need to make sure you do it. Click next. Now we're on adjustments. See adjustments. Always you want to see what's going on. Now, again, you may have student loan that you're paying interest on. If that's deductible, you can put it in here. Education expenses, IRAs, health savings account, moving expenses. You need to click that question mark to see if you qualify if you have these things. Alimony paid, penalties for early withdrawal. I want you to remember certain business expenses. This is where we're going to put your My Econ business. An adjustment, coming back to that. Next. So we got 3 done. Let's do deductions. Okay, you qualify for a standard deduction of $24,800. If you have itemized deductions, sometimes you hear people refer to that as what we call the long form. The standard deductions is many times referred to as a short form, and the itemized deductions are many times referred to as a long form. The proper name, if you go look and said you need your taxes, if you went back and looked at your taxes from last year, 2018, you should see something called a Schedule A. A Schedule A is itemized deduction. You claim interest on your home, you claim medical bills, you claim property taxes, you can claim charitable deductions. If those things collectively add up to be, let's just say $25,800, that's $1,000 more. You have the right to say, I'll use the 24, but most folks will take the 25,000 because it gives them a larger deduction. Here we're going to take the standard deduction. Now, by taking the standard deduction, we move right on through to the last fill-in. Based on the information, you qualify for tax credits for your dependents. We want to see the tax credits that we qualify for. Don't qualify for all, but we do qualify for some. You stated that you have 2 dependents. If this is incorrect, please return to step 1, about you, and update the number of dependents. Child tax credit. Okay, so this we have, enter the number of qualified children under 17. We have 2. Child and dependent care taxes. This would be for people who daycare or something like that after school or during the day. This is not for school projects. If they play football and you got them in some kind of sporting event to help with you daycare. That's not the same thing they're talking about. In an estimate of the work-related child and dependent care expense, none. Earned income, they make 100, so I'm not gonna put anything here. Adoption credit, foreign tax credit, some of you may have that, so you have to look at what that means if you have some of those things. Maybe you have some children that you're taking care of that came from other countries. I don't know, but you have to look at those things. So we're going to click next. Now I need everyone to write this down with me. I need everyone to write this down. Okay. Extremely, extremely important that you understand this step here. Your results, Now, here's what this says. Look at what this says. It says expected tax withholding. That means that going to come out of your check is $12,600 for the year between the two of you. You're going to owe taxes. You only owe $46.32. You're going to get a refund of $79.68. Now, this is what I was sharing with you earlier. You went in a restaurant. You ordered. You gave the cashier a $120 payment for a $46 bill. They owe you $79. Do you want them to hold that, or do you want to get a refund? And get a refund, or do you want them to give it to you now? That's what this is asking you. It says if you're happy with your results, then you don't need to do anything. You want to adjust your results, use the slide bar below and select the approximate refund amount you would like to get. So instead of $79.68, I'm going to slide this bar back. I'm going to slide this bar all the way back. I want to get 0. Now watch what happens. I'm going to tell you how to fill this out. For a refund of 0, your job annual tax wages was $40,000. To get the desired refund amount, you would need $46 from each paycheck, less $154 that you're currently paying. I'll just write the $154 down times 2, because remember, we're doing this every 2 weeks. Twice a month. 154 times 2 equals 308 a year. Look what happened to the other 60,000. To get the desired results you want, you need 117 taxes withheld, less, that's $208 per paycheck, less than what you're currently doing. So we got 208 times 2 is $416. Now just add 308 plus 416 equal. That's $724 coming out of your check, more than you are supposed to pay. When you correctly fill this form out, that $724 will go back in your paycheck. To the spouse on the $60,000, their paycheck will go up $416. To the spouse on the $40,000, their payment will go up $308 per month, for a total of $724 to the family. Now, here's how simple the IRS has made this. Download a pre-filled out form. Watch what it says. We download, I'm sorry, I need to go back and do this. How do I adjust my withholding? First thing I want to do is, how do I adjust my withholding? Look at what it said when it says, how do I adjust my withholding? It says, complete a new Form W-4 online or via paper as follows. Check your personal information is correct. Line 1, A, B, on the Form W-4. Select married, filing jointly, or qualified widower. Enter 162 for the credit and other reductions to annual withholding. Line 3 of the W-4 is all on the W-4 is already pre-filled out in the download button. So if you use the paper form, then you just sign it. Submit the new information to your employer as soon as possible. All right. The same thing happens down here. Okay. How do I adjust this one? I do the same thing. I adjust, and I'm gonna get $407 back every month. Okay, in a $407 credit. Now watch what happens here. I want to download a pre-filled out form. You click on download a pre-filled out form. Open it up. It's opening, taking its time, but it is opening. All right, here it is here. Now, you would have to fill out your first name and all that. All you need to do is fill out your name and address and married, filed, and jointly. And look what happened. It has a 162 already on line 3. You sign it and turn it into your employer. That's all you have to do. Now, I want you to see this. It's got a fillable form. You can type it in right here where you see the blue at. Name, address, city, state, zip. Married, filed, and jointly. The number 3 is already filled out. That's all you need to fill out. Sign it, turn it into your HR department. Let's close that one. The one for the spouse that earns $60,000. Let's pre-fill that one out. Download the pre-filled version. All righty. Open. It's opening. We open down here now. We download it. Same deal. They got the 47 here. Fill it out, sign it. That's how a person fills out the W-4. Now, I want to go back to something I want you to see. Okay? I need you to go back to this with me. Now, remember up here, that person owes $432. If they do nothing other else, $46.32, they're going to pay $46.32 in taxes. By joining a home-based business with us and keeping good records, which I'm going to show you tomorrow, watch what happens here. If they join a business with us and keep good records, this is what you want to show them. Go back to number 3, adjustments. Scroll down to certain business expenses. Here we're going to say first that they had $5,000 in business expense. These would be things like, I will show you this tomorrow, driving your car back and forth to work. These would be things like your cell phone. These would be things like traveling on business trips. These would be things like paying your children to work for you. So I'm going to enter 5,000. I want to just show you how, something simple first. That's easy for anyone to get. Your monthly expenses in my Econ count toward that. Go back to results. Look at what happens here now that we go back to results. Okay, you originally owe $46.32. You now owe $4,032. That's a $600 difference. But look what happened to the $600. Your refund was going to be $79.68. It went up to $85.68. So the $600 is a direct result of your refund. Now, but if you work at the business, you can get a lot more than $5,000. But now we started at the first of the year. If you will allow me to help you, I can't help you if you won't allow me. I can show you how to get lots more than $5,000 in business expense. Let me give you one other example, just so you know. I just want to show you what it does. We're going to go back to adjustments, and instead of $5,000, we're going to do 25,000. Now, driving your car back and forth to work for 10,000 miles will get you over $5,700. Employing one child to work with you for a year can get you 12,000. We're already at 22. So getting to 25 ain't hard if you follow the rules. So put 25 in instead of 5. Watch what happens. Go back to results. Now watch what happened here. You gotta follow with me. We went from 4632 that we were gonna owe in taxes. So let's take our calculator. 4632 minus, now we owe 1632. That's a $3,000 savings. Look what happened to our refund. It was $79.68. It's now $10,968. That $3,000 dropped right back in your pocket. So owning a My Econ business and learning what I'm going to show you today and tomorrow is worth thousands of dollars by itself. See, most people get it wrong. They think of this business as something less than because we happen to charge a low price. We are very cognizant of the fact that it doesn't cost a lot to join our business. But that is not indicative of the price or the value of this company. Right here, I don't know why a person wouldn't want $3,000 back. Well, in order to have that, I'm gonna use 500, but it's not 500. They could have a business with us for less than $500 a year. If they get over 3,000 back, which they would do, in addition, they would then have a $2,500 plus. Now watch this. If I look at $10,980, $68, $10,968, divide that by 12 months, that's $914 coming back. But before we did any business, we're at $724. Now, I want to use a word that you all have heard me use before. Income shifting. What does that mean? What does it mean to say income shifting? Now, you see how I did the W-4? I'm going to go back to my website, my Econ website. I'm going to log into my Econ website. That's going to bring me to something called the Business Management Center. The Business Management Center has a product here called a Debt Eliminator Calculator. You put all of your debts in. I have pre-filled this with debts. So I have Car One, American Express, Visa, Furniture, Student Loan, Car Two, and Mortgage. The debts you want to put here are the debts that can be paid off. You never want to put debts there that cannot ever be paid off because you have to put the amount that you owe and the interest rate that you're currently paying, and then what are you supposed to pay on the debts each month. Now, without doing anything other than that extra, if I were to do a snowballing effect, I could pay my car off in the next 17 months, and if I took the $250 and add to the $125, I paid $325. 28 months later, the American Express would be gone. But now I got $325. I can add that to the $135. 39 months, that's gone. Now they add in these months. There's not additional another 28. That's 17. We're at 28 now. We got 2 done. We're at 39 months now. 42 months, 63 months, and so forth. So we come all the way down, and I want you to see this. You can pay off $259,000 for debt by the year of 2031. That's 11 years and 5 months. I need you to see that with no additional cash. You don't have to be 30 years. You freed up $2,452. Now watch this. I'm going to show you another little idea here. Income shifted. I'm just going to go with the 724 because they have no business. Just the money they let the IRS hold. Take the 724 and let's get out of debt with it. We're going to add that to getting out of debt. Save and calculate. Bam. Now that we've calculated that, we're going to go down and look at it again. Now, the first debt was $250 plus $724, took us to $974. We out of debt in 4 months. We take the $974, add it to the American Express, another 5 months, we out of debt. We take the $1,099, add it to the $135, 14 months, we out of debt. And you can see how this adds up all the way down. This run the person all the way down. And they out of debt in 8 years and 3 months instead of 11 years. Now, remember your mortgage was 30 years. So if you get out of debt in 8 years, that leaves you 22 years on your mortgage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this $3,100, $3,176, and I'm going to show you what you can do. Remember, income shifting. Instead of letting the government hold $724 a month, you take the $724 a month by adjusting your W-4. Put it on your bills. Get out of debt in the next 8 years. Now that leaves you $3,100. All of the monthly payments you were paying on the house, all of the monthly payments you were paying on all of these bills is now paid. So now what we do is we go back to BMC Home. We got another calculator we're going to go to. Come down to tools. I hope you're taking notes. You're going to need this. Go to calculators. And we're going to go to monthly periodic payment. Now, let me say something, folks. I am a guy that's overweight. I don't say that because I'm trying to brag. I say that because I overeat. I've tried a lot of different things. And the thing that always gets me is I love the thing that they tell me is not good. Carbs and sugar. Those things are not good. And when a diet takes me off all of those things, I don't do very well with it. But if one tell me I can eat a little of it and pacify my taste every once in a while, I do much better. So I'm working on that now. But here's what I want to say. We freed up $3,176. I am not going to put all of this into the calculator. I'm going to put $2,500 in. I'm going to leave you $676 to play with and do something other else with. That's like having that slice of cake. Instead of eating it all every day, we're just going to say, eat a little. So we're going to take $2,500 of the $3,176 that you freed up. We'll teach you how to get 9%. Damon know how to do that. Then we're going to do 20 years instead of 22. Watch what happens. 20 years instead of 22. And then I'm going to calculate. Now I'm going to increase this so it can be seen, Damon, out here very well. I need everybody to see this. In 20 years, after you paid off the debt, that's $1,669,717. Ladies and gentlemen, allowing the government to hold your refund. You get it at the end of the year. You shout about it. You go blow it on a vacation. You go blow it on a new car. You go get some new furniture. It's called My Econ, the shop for my economy. You can use that money to fix your economy. The first thing we did, or will do with you, is help you change your W-4. You have the money. Now when you have the money, that is, you can begin to get out of debt. And I want to say this, and I'm going to come back to this in just a minute. And then you can invest. Now, what I actually believe, I show this process this way because it works this way as well. But I actually believe that a person ought to, before they get out of all debt, is start to invest some of that money toward long-term savings. Because if you do, you could actually have more, because in investing, it's all about how long you invest, and it's something called time value of money. If you start investing early on, them 8 years while you were getting out of debt, if you can start investing something, that money will be huge. And you'd actually end up with more than $1.6 million. But the point I want to make tonight and leave you with is this. This is not a $49 decision. This is a multi-million-dollar decision. I want you to look at it this way, and I want you to talk to people who are going to call in on the advertisement. I want you to help them understand that they're getting a McDonald's franchise. They're the owner of a McDonald's franchise for $49.95. They're the owner of a Walmart for $49.95. Don't let them tell you, and don't you believe, that the value of this business is $49.95. We're not naive men. We've been in business 30 plus years. The reason we choose to keep it low is we want to hit every demographics. We don't want money to be an issue because we believe God blessed everybody out here. And we want to give everybody an opportunity out here to be blessed. We don't want to be the person to take away opportunity for no one. So we keep the price low. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, I'm going to speak in detail on how one can get $25,000 to $30,000 in tax deductions. Now, it's going to require you to do some things. It's going to require you to discipline yourself. But it's not going to require you to go find the tallest building in Los Angeles and walk off to the side. It's not going to require you to go anywhere and hold someone up with a gun and take their money. It's not going to require you to change your moral values or your spiritual values. But it will require you to be disciplined and do what discipline you need to do so you can get it going in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, this first tip tonight is how to adjust your W-4 and use that money for income shifting, to pay off debts, or to build investment income. You need to take that money and go fix your life and your family's life. I want to thank you all for being on the call with me. Now, Damon, I don't know if you record all the questions and answers or not. That's up to you. But I am finished with the class. I typically don't record all that, so the person listening, they can get the class and it'll be over. But
yeah, I'm gonna stop recording right now, sir.
we can go ahead and end the recording. Let me say this before you do. Thanks everyone for viewing this recording. Thank you for being on. My name is Alvin Curry. I'm the co-founder of Econ Inc. in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the company. Thank you. Now,